उपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Verse number 14. अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यादन्न संभवः यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यः यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि ब्रह्माक्षर समुद्भवम् तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम् एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रम् नानुवर्तयति हयः अघायुरिन्द्रियारामः मोघं पार्थ स जीवति Bhagavan says evam pravartitam chakram. Chakram means the cycle. It is not circle. Here the meaning is the cycle. Pravartitam means set into motion. Very well set into motion. Very well designed. Intelligently set into motion. Yaha na anuvartayati iha. Iha means asmin loke, manushya janman praptepi. One who has gained human birth, in spite of that, na anuvartayati, he or she doesn't follow, doesn't commit himself to this cycle, doesn't commit himself to be a contributory person. That person, who is he? Agayuhu. Agha means papam. Pap ayuhu. He is living sin, you can say, He is living sin. How? We will see that. And that is because of what? Indriya Ramaha. He is reveling to sense organ, pleasures of the senses, committed to sense pursuit only, and that person, mohe partha prutha mogham sajivati. His life is vrutha, useless. His life is wasteful. The human birth is almost useless to him, it is wasted. We have been talking about this yajna, harmony, contributory actions. That means, or what we call it as a dharma. The word dharma has so many meanings. It is not simple religion or even duty. Dharma, though they talk dharma as a faith, no. Dharma also doesn't mean harmony contributing action. Even desire prompted action means the pursuit of Artha Kama, when it is backed by common sense ethics, social ethics and religious ethics, it is dharma. Then commit to what is expected out of me, what is enjoined in the Vedas as an expected action is also dharma. And any contributory deed with a proper attitude also becomes dharma. You can come in. I can see your face. There is a space here. No required. There are kulluravan barno. Just keep it open little, not of suffocation. If you are not feeling too cold. So, this whole universe, as we have been saying, is symbiotic. Each one is depending upon the other. And the creation is an intelligent creation, well thought of. Whether you talk of it at a micro level or macro level, just think of it. The intelligence of a creator. You know, when you go to a doctor and you have some fever or something, they have identified this fever is caused by this particular type of bacteria. You are unwell, typhoid bacteria, malaria, dengue, or some different types of disease, they say. Different types of bacteria are there, therefore you are sick. But we discovered these are varieties of bacteria. And when they can't find out what is it, they call it viral. Viral is agnana. Viral means I don't know bacteria. And they have found out one medicine, like we had that song, Lakh Dukhon ki ek dawa. They have found out antibiotic. That is accidental discovery. In this body, there are billions and billions of WBC. They are so tiny, even to know. Can you just move forward? Achara here jagya avi jao. Don't sit outside. Dhirubhai ke koi niche avi jao na, niche nahi baisa acha. You cannot sit down. Nahi hum to rahe fir to aaga. To see these bacteria, you need a microscope. In 1 ml, there is a minimum 5,000-10,000. They are there. They are our army. These are together. CID, police and NIA, all put together. National Investigative Agency, CID also there, local police, LIB, everything is there. In such a tiny structure, it has an intelligence to identify which are the bugs from outside and then fight. When they are losing the battle, you pick up fever. That's all it is. You are losing. And they fight it out. They know this is a foreign fellow. And there are millions and millions of types of bugs getting into stomach. With this pani puri and bhel puri and dabeli eating outside, so many bugs get in. They keep on clearing. What an intelligent system. They keep on multiplying, they keep on growing, and they, with their watchful eyes, they keep moving all over the body. Not only that, if you just go further, any nucleus which has some motion, that is because of the particles within. These particles also move in a particular way. They don't have random movement. There is a system. And they have protein, different types of protein. And this protein attracts different protein, therefore they are like that. Certain bugs attack certain proteins, certain bugs attack certain bacteria, fixed. We are discovering now, for millennia we have this body with WBC. What What an intelligent creation. Think of it, as Swamiji used to say, this pump heart, from day one it starts functioning, no staggering, no maintenance, no repair. Till you die, it keeps on pumping. And it doesn't require external energy for it to pump. It generates energy for itself and for the body. If you abuse, then it requires maintenance. Then you have to go for a surgery. And that is our tongue abuse, not even heart abuse. Kidneys, lungs, all interconnected, working in such a harmony that system works, if I use a jargon, on auto mode, without your any effort on your part. This is chakram. Bhagavan has set the cycle, set the motion set the ball into motion. Even other day I told you, you eat anything, what a processing house. You dump any kind of food, veg, non-veg, and then people eat all things, crabs and snakes, soups and all things. My God, never go to Hong Kong market. I made a mistake once. Never go to market in the Hong Kong. I can't forget. Live snakes, they make a Chinese. When Swamiji was telling, I couldn't believe. Anything that crawls, anything that walks, anything that flies, anything that swims, Chinese can eat. My God, I had a nightmare that day. The snakes are moving in a big bottle of water and then they select, I want this, and right in front of you take it and make a soup and then full enjoy. My God, it's better I don't describe, some of you will be. I can remember it so vivid. Anyway, coming back to this, such a system. And at a macro level also, just look at this one factor, the gravitational force. See, sometimes we gloss over the things. Each planet has its own force of gravity. Because and it is so perfect that they are kept at a fixed distance. Either little bit plus minus, collapse. Every planet can become black hole. And that and not only that, force is so uniformly spreaded all over the earth. Poor earth is moving like this. And moving, she goes around the sun. Not a single corner, it is less, Sometimes you mix sugar, somewhere it doesn't mix, then it is not sweet. No, it is not mixed in this part. It is so homogeneous. Entire galaxies function just because of one force of mutual attraction. That way humanity also has mutual attraction. That's why samsara goes on. but there is another gravitation people have. That gravitation day is coming now. 13th February or something. 14th February.
Valentine's Day.
Mutual. Whole, Vyasti and Samasti. At a micro level or macro level, there is harmony and there is an order. It is not a random system. That being the case, we are the only one who can throw spanner in the wheel. Rest have been programmed to be like that. Even though, however powerful they may be, they have no choice but to be what they are designed for. Since human being has that freedom, and therefore two things we can do, we may not let them function in the way they need to function, or we may not contribute, we may not perform harmony contributory actions which we are supposed to do. That is called our dharma. In either case, One who doesn't do this, one who does this, what? Neither follows the cycle, means doesn't perform the contributory actions, harmony contributory actions, you can say niyat karma, etc. Or he or she obstructs this whole cycle, this whole system, throws a spanner in this wheel, that person is agayu. He is living sin, he lives sin, meaning thereby he lives all right, keeps incurring sin more and more, Now, why he says agayuhu, he is living sin? He or she doesn't do what he or she is expected to do. Non-performance of the action which is expected out of it, for which you are supposed to perform, is also a sin, in a way. Why? You are not contributing to the system, and that system itself will be harmful to you. Or they deliberately disturb the system. Okay? These are called indriyaramaha agayu. Why it happens so? We will see in the later part of this chapter when Arjuna asks, who commits sin? Why person commits sin? Ata kena prayuktoyam papam charati purusha. What makes one to perform sin? And the second line is important. Anichannapi varshni. He or she himself doesn't want to do. He or she, while performing, knows that I shouldn't be doing this. And I should have been doing this way. Both knows. He says, Baladiva niyojita. There's somebody, there's a forcefully makes him to do. Arjuna, this is the difference between Arjuna and Duryodhana. This you can say this is the difference between a seeker and samsari. Duryodhana also had the same problem. When he says, Janami dharmam nachame pravruti, I know what is to be done. But I cannot commit myself. Janami adharmam nachame, I know what is not to be done, but I cannot refrain from doing it. I cannot stop myself from doing that. He doesn't say this, he did not make any necessary inquiry. What causes this? He quietly put the blame on Kenapi devena rudisthitena. Somebody is pushing me, some devata. some ghost or some power is there which is doing this for me. No, Arjuna asked, what is it? That deva or that ghost is you. You know why so much of censure is made in our culture? You often hear this, karma is bad. That is the reason. Kama means, first of all, not only certain indriya bhoga, kama means any desire to be happy and secure. Bhagavan says that ghost within you is kama eshaha, krodha eshaha, rajo guna samudra. Nothing. There is a pressure of desire. Pressure to have a given sense objects. That is called Indriya Ramaha. You know this fellow, he says, what is he? Indriya Ramaha Mogam Partha Sajivati. Because he is Ara Indriyeshu Ramate iti Indriya Rama. He revels in sense organs, implying Indriya Bhogeshu ya Ramate Saha Indriya Rama. All the time brooding over, planning over in the sensual pleasures. Both ways, for security and for pleasure, he thinks, always reveling in about the objects of the world outside. That desire, whenever it becomes stronger and stronger, it becomes a force by which you cannot stop yourself. That is a force. It's like a river in a spate, river in a floods. No dam can stop it. It just breaks it. See, these are the guys, sometimes even if they know, they don't come in. Even if they know I shouldn't disturb, but cannot remain without disturbing. And there is a justification also. People, what difference will it make? A small thing I am doing in this entire vast universe. I am a small man, and this small act of cutting this one tree or something, what it will make? It will not affect the totality. They justify. There's like this diabetic patient I often hear, they want to eat sweet, and I can eat today just one piece. After all, it is Shivratri. Nothing will happen when it is Bhagavan Prasad. As if Bhagavan Prasad has sugar only for tongue, not for stomach. It's a different type of prasad. And a typical Gujarati lady or Indian lady, when wants to push the sweet to a Swamiji, they say, it is made up of jaggery. Jaggery. I said, mother of sugar and jaggery is same, sugar cane. They are the sons of the same mom. So DNA will be same, you cannot change it. My God, people eat so much of sugar. In this Shankaracharya Yatra I had in MP, I needed a tea. It was so hectic life. Lunch used to be at 3:30 and dinner at 11. So you need something. Oh, mind gets crazy. And then I said, there is time, get me some tea. So we have to tell to the next station, which is hardly 2-3 kilometers. Next to next is get ready the tea. And we say no sugar. No sugar was sweeter than what you drink. Every day I had 2-3 sips, because you take a sip, I need sugar. Okay, now next one. And finally at the third or fourth go, I will have a tea. Then I had to say, sugar, look at sugar and make the tea. Forget about touching also. Sugar darshan, chini ka darshan bhi nahi karna hai. और डिब्बा खोलना ही नहीं है. Swamiji, only this much. Only this much, but this much is a relative. Bhima says, I want only this much food. And Shakuni will know what it will happen to him. Anyway, coming back to this, human mind justifies. What's wrong? We have a beautiful story to exemplify this about Birbal. There was very wisest minister Akbar had. And there was a king, where it goes by his name. And the king thought, my subjects are very honest and very king-loving, and they will follow all kinds of my orders and things like that. Birbal smiled. And he said, no, you don't know. He said, let us have a test. It's okay. And then they said, what's the test? Birbal suggested. Ask your citizen just to give one small cup of milk. Each one should contribute a cup of milk. And where do they contribute? Ask them to contribute in the pond, they created a special pond and covered it. And you pour like a voting booth, you go somewhere and pour. And it will be through the pipeline, it will come there. Because so many citizens have to come, they created so many inlet points. And they say, let this be private, so we'll know how the citizens are. King was happy. The test date was fixed. They had a pond covered, whirlpool, swimming pool type of thing. It was well covered. And there were booths, and they had to go in a corner and pour it single and then come out. Next day when they opened, it was all full of water. Each one thought If I pour 1 cup of water, everybody else will put the milk. What difference it will make? And they ended up in having no milk. This is the problem. We are self-justifying people. If I do this much, how it is going to affect the universe? Like this small piece of sweet will not enhance my diabetes. It's okay for a day. It is day only creates a problem. That's a human attitude. This self-justification comes because of Indriya Rama. Because of the desire, the pressure to enjoy, pressure to possess, pressure to consume. That is why the word is used Rama. Ramana. You know, one who is just, as they say in English, one who is a foodie person, loves to eat, and then because of the eating habit, he is double XL minimum, and proceeding to triple XL. That person, foodie person, there is a beautiful word in Tamil language. The food is called Shapad, and that fellow is called Shapada Rama. Shapada Rama. All the time thinking of only food. There is so much of pressure that he neglects his or her own body. So this Indriya Rama, because that means Bhoga Parayana. You know, whenever someone compromises in his or her dharma, whenever someone compromises or disturbs the cyclic symbiotic order, it is only because of pressure of sense pleasures. That is why it wants this. Now, look at this one more word. Bhagavan says, Mogham Parthasati. Bhagavan uses 2 adjectives. Agayuhu. Aga means papayu. He lives sin, and he says his life is fruitless, futile, wasteful life he is living. 2 adjectives. Generally, Bhagavan has tremendous maryada. He is very, very chaste and very disciplined in using the words. In this chapter only you can find such words, Stena eva saha, Agayuhu, Mogasha, etc. These words. What does it mean? Look this. It is natural that I compromise on my contributory actions. It's a natural tendency that I feel like doing what I am not supposed to do. That is natural from day one. As a child, the child is expected to study. That is the age when baby wants to play. And then there is always there. And I told you in the beginning, this is Mahabharata going on here. What my common sense tells me, what my wisdom tells me to do, and what I feel like doing, that Mahabharata is always there. What my common sense or what my wisdom tells is Pandavas, and I go by my one corner of the mind says, go by your fancies and desires. These are all Kauravas. That Mahabharata is always there. The free will is meant to surrender, to be surrendered to what I have to do. We saw it in the earlier section. When I surrender my free will to my kartavya karma, to my dharma, that's a real surrender. This, as I said, this conflict is always there, therefore Bhagavan is very harsh in saying this word. Why do you say he is eating sin? You see, there are 2 problems, especially in this modern world. You know, this modern infrastructure particularly economic and social infrastructure is such that the sky is a limit for you to earn and for you to enjoy. So possibilities of gaining artha and kama is almost endless. There are so many success stories. They started from scratch or from slums and became the richest person. And everybody has, in the name of democracy, each one has equal rights, each one has equal opportunities, it is there. In the process, formerly there was no such opportunity to earn. 100 rupee was a big sum. 1000 was ultimate. To have 1000 rupees, it means it was too big a thing. Now the resources are more, possibilities are more, and opportunities are there. The infrastructure itself is very conducive for people to pursue artha kama. Fine. Two things we should know. Whenever one gets money, Lakshmi, artha, because artha is for kama, buying power, yesterday we saw. Whenever you get money, it is not simply by your purushartha or by your efforts. Though the definition of Lakshmi is that Lakshate Pashyati Udyoginam Purushameti Lakshmi. By your efforts you get money, true, partly. Why I say partly? Because we see in the society, there is a person who has lot of riches, there are few others who put in equal amount of effort but still have no riches compared to this person. And there are some others with less effort get more riches. So there is one more factor along with your efforts that fetches artha, that gives you wealth. It is a buying power. Technology takes care of the kama, they create. But then as far as your buying power is concerned, some other factor. And that factor being not seen, not known, it is adrushta. Punyam. Purely punyam. Otherwise, all university dropouts should become Steve Jobs. That fellow was just university dropout. And he didn't do anything. There are so many people. In our Indian example, all gas station attender, gas attender boys should become Dhirubhai Ambani, the Reliance chairman. It doesn't happen. There is some punya. So, purva punya joins to the purushartha, the fellow gets money. The catch is here. This is what Maya. One created by humanity, another by Bhagwan. See this. People always plan and aspire, how much can I earn? They show you possibilities. You can earn this much, you can earn this much, you can earn this much. And like a carrot before the cart, from one target to another, another to another, they keep on enhancing their income. Fine. I appreciate you've given you the effort, necessary potential and infrastructure on. But never ever we think, see, technology or societal infrastructure never ever teaches you this. How much can you spend? How much you earn is one thing. Capacity to spend is limited. You can't spend beyond, unless you want to get into those old habits, bad habits, into gambling and drinking, and that's okay. But you can't spend. If you want to live a happy life, you don't need a lot of money. All those rich guys, so-called rich ones, they have resources by which for at least 20 to 50 generations can eat and live comfortable life. But the fellow is still on run. Because we never pause and think, how much can we spend? And there is always a pressure. One more, one more. This is punya. Whatever you get, that means you are encashing your punya. It is exactly like Purva Janma FDR. I mean, your FDR. Some people live on, retired people have the fixed income. FDR matures and they spend. But when it matures as double, they put back the principal and use the interest. But people, if the fellow spends away the entire FDR, there will not be anything left for the future spending. So when one person gets wealth because of punya, one should reinvest that wealth for punya. Shastra is very clear. Dharmad arthasya kamasya. Artha kama is through dharma. And second point is dharmarthe artha. You have money for earning punya, doing seva. This is the only opportunity in a human birth where we can earn punya. I will in a nutshell tell you how my mind thinks. When this Harshad Mehta scam, stock market scam came about in India about 20 years ago, that time I had some time to read newspaper. So I used to follow. It started with 5 crores and 10 crores and 50 crores and ended up to 4,000 crores. It was a big sum. I was imagining, my God, how much would it be 4,000 crores? Just like childlike imaginary, So I said 1,000 rupees. That time there was no 2,000 rupee note. 1,000 rupee note, and there is a packet of 100 note will make 10,000 rupees. And such 10 bundles will make 1 lakh of rupees. I was sitting in a room and was imagining. So that is 10 lakh. And 10 such will make 1 crore. So if you stack it up one by one, I was imagining this much. I think 2 crores will cover the same. And how much can go? Like a child, there were tiles and I measured how much. I said, my God, it will fill up such a big room. Then another thought came, what is wrong in imagining? If I get that, what will I do? I thought, how much can I spend? Like this, how much a human being can spend? That was my thought. And I thought, I don't need anything. I need just one ashram, that's over. And how much can a human being spend? So then I created the imaginary spending capacity. Okay, maximum. If you buy a house, 50 crore house, maximum is a huge bungalow you get in downtown Bombay. That's not good. You should stay in 7-star hotel. You can spend more, maximum. Those days, good suites were available in 50,000 rupees. Even the presidential suites were 75,000 available in hotel. Let us say it is 1 lakh per day. One suite. The fellow has 2 children. So he booked 3 suites. And after all, Guju, guest loving, 2 more suites permanently booked for guest. 5 suites. Maximum a person would spend on living 5 lakhs per day. Now let us come to next step. Breakfast is complimentary. In such hotels they give free. Lunch and dinner. Those days it was good. They are supplying 3,000, 4,000, Vira and Raj, it was there. Let us say 20,000 rupees per plate. Because he always took lunch and dinner with cocktail. He had a stone liver. Let us assume that. liver coated, Teflon coated liver. So, liver didn't have problem even if he kept on drinking. 20,000 per plate. And guest, 2 legs for lunch, 2 legs for dinner. Let us have 1 leg extra. Why should I be miser in talking? Maximum on staying and food with the friends and all, one can spend 10 lakhs. For a month, 3 crores. 1 million, 30 million. 30 million is 3 crores per month. 12 months, 36 crores. 10 years, 360 crores. Yes, 360 crores. 5 years, 1800 crores. All this. Now, even if he travels by flight and shopping, etc., another 1 crore. Okay? Per year, per month. It adds to what? 4 to 4,500 crores. Finished. She'll be tired of shopping. And I tell you, you will not eat those cocktail lunch and dinner. One day you will tell her, you please make khichdi. I don't want it. And one day that fellow will tell her, no, we don't want it. Let us go to that lariwala, chapati and eat on that. You need a change. And if you have a contractual booking, these 5-star guys give 40% discount. And if you book it for 10 years, they will give you 60%. There is one lady, she is hotel management. She's laughing. How does Swamiji know all this? Because I have organized certain seminars, so I know. I have paid through my nose when we had foreign delegations and all that. Acharya Sabha. You can't spend more than 3,000 crores. And if I tell in the businessman's language, just put on interest some 500 crores, you can survive on that, you don't need 3,000. These all ministers and businessmen are stupid. If they take some cut in 500 crores, Indian public have big heart. Let them have it, let them have it. Nobody would bother. Modern system doesn't teach how much can you spend. And people don't pause and think, how much can I spend? And earning money, as I said, survival, yesterday we saw, mere survival involves sin, some himsa, some violence. Earning money definitely involves power. Therefore Bhagavan says, Aghayu, the fellow is living sin. This is a small story they tell, very interesting. This lady got married to another rich man's son, but they all were good as a person and all. Only the thing missing was, in her parental home there was custom. They used to give a lot of charity. About food charity, whosoever, for the birds and the cows, Panch Yagnas they were performed. Yes. And so people used to come to them because they were giving. When she came there, she discovered that they are not at all giving anything. Even a beggar comes, they will drive him away. She had a pain. One day a sadhu came. And the father-in-law was there. He said, get lost, nothing is there. Go. We are not going to give. Then Sadhu told the woman, Bhiksham Dehi Bhagavati, he says, no, Maharaj, don't take anything from here. Everything is stale here. Basi hai khana. The father-in-law didn't like it, but he was happy. After all, Sadhu went away. It happened 2-3 times, and there was big arguments in the home that you are insulting the father-in-law. And it went on for 4-5 times, and the husband got wild and he said, get lost, go back. No more. Let's part. He said, okay, we will, but on one condition. You brought me here. And when you came to bring me, you had brought all the fellows. So bring them all and send me back. I'll go with them. And he was so annoyed because off and on she will tell any beggar, any sadhu, they are eating stale food, they are eating stale food. He says, okay. So he called his cousins and all told, uncle, look, this is a lady and he is insulting father-in-law, our image is getting spoiled and status and blah, blah, blah. He says, okay, let's go. Then some eldest one of the family asked him, why do you say this and break your married life? Why you hold on to this statement? She says, I am telling deliberately. He said, what? When I say stale food, I don't mean the food cooked before. But all the riches they have is because of Purva Punya. And now there is no fresh Punya. Therefore it is a stale food. Please understand, we have to deliberately perform contributory action. Bhagavan is not going to come and tell you, do this. Every situation dictates, every situation demands that I do this. Swami used to give a very beautiful example, a small ant. When you see in a wash basin, ant trying to climb up that height, because it of the clay style, it slips off. And you are passing, you see that. At that moment, contributory karma is help the ant to cross. Every situation dictates. To contribute, one needs to go out of the comfort zone. Modern problem is, people want to do, but not beyond comfort zone. Their own comfort zone. Therefore, the thing, anything which you give, anything which you contribute should pinch you. Then it is giving. Otherwise it is extra, I am passing it on. That's not the case. One must put in effort to be a contributive person in every situation. If there is somebody in front of me asking for a help, that means it is niyata. There is a purpose. Why you are in this position at this place and how come that person felt like asking you? That is Ishvara's order. That is Ishvara's ajna. And if I look at that situation, niyata and yajna doesn't mean doing nitya karma madhurdeva, pitrudeva. Every moment to moment, my common sense tells me this I should be. In other words, general attitude to reach out, general attitude to give, that has to be cultivated because that is you. Please understand, we told you, dharma gives antakarana shuddhi. That prepares you for the knowledge. What is the knowledge? Self. And this self, the knowledge of the self. Self is me. The thing that you want to know is not another than you. It's not an object, it's a very subject. To own up that self, I should be like self relative. Self is asanga by nature. So I should be asanga relative. Self is ananda, I should be ananda relative. Therefore you cannot give Atma Upadesha when somebody has died in the home. Vairagya is there. At that time there is a dispassion, but it doesn't work. You have to be relatively, you have to be what you want to be. And the self is compassion. Understand? Expression of ananda at mental level is love, and the other side of the coin of love is compassion. When you are happy, you just love. And the love makes you compassionate, totally empathetic. To that beloved you are willing to give. Every woman is ananda. See that, there is ananda. There is a physical hardship. There is a custom. There is inconvenience in upbringing a baby. But that there is a love for baby, that upbringing or hardships gives her joy. She doesn't complain. She may say, I'm too tired, but she loves to do because there is Ananda. So Ananda's expression is compassion, and that compassion or Ananda at Indriya level is to give, reach out. That is yourself. To be that, one needs to be relatively giver, needs to be relatively reaching. A wise man cannot but be a giver. Wise man cannot but be a contributor. Very beautifully, Swamiji often used to say, since I enjoyed some space with him, some closeness, and I see him, sometimes he gets into people, oh, I'll do that, I'll do that, he will help everybody, Some of you know him. He just can't say no. He will help. I said, why Swamiji, what do you do? That person is like this. You know what? I can't forget that face. He said, Paramatma, I told you yesterday, he was such a vashi. In life he never said sorry. Never uttered such words. Nothing. He's such a self-control. That person tells me, Paramatma, one thing I can't handle is my compassion. That is you. To be that, I should be relatively compassionate. That is Shuddhanta. Please understand. Form a habit of giving. Form a habit of crossing your comfort zone. People today have so much of resources. They've amassed so much of wealth, but never ever perform any reach out actions. And this is a unique thing, both ways. If you are a seeker, you must be giver. That is the sign of Shuddhanta Karanam. Giving itself will make you a seeker. Shuddha Antakaranam, purity will come. And that giving is you, that compassion. And if you look at it from Vyavahara point of view, it's only and only human birth that we have a possibility of creating new punyas. I tell you, I've seen millionaires who just can't give. Just can't give because somehow, and they can spend for their sense pleasure. This is India. And then even not, eyes will not blink if they have to spend $100, $200 for themselves or for some pleasure or some picnic or something. When it is for some dharma, when it is for giving, suddenly heart shrinks, like khadi. It shrinks. When you wash it first time, suddenly size becomes smaller. This, as a seeker, please form a habit to contribute. If not money, at least your time. And I tell you, whatever we have is nothing but Purva Janma Punya, fructification. Please, as a Jivatma also, please add more Punya. Otherwise, next Janma, it will be like this, not this. This is a modern problem. Somehow the whole infrastructure has a picked up a value that more you aggrandize, more you are greater. More you possess. Even the media will give the names. We hear even our vernacular newspaper have sometimes frontline news. The wealth of the richest person of India is 1,70,000 crores. And people, youngsters have a value, I should get more. So, but nobody glorifies the person who gives more. One who is a contributor. Society don't pick up this amassing and self-enjoying. Therefore it is papa. Human birth is not meant for just sensual pleasure and collecting the wealth. And they say in all Indian languages, all wealth will remain here. But the punya or papa that you incurred in gaining the wealth will come with you as a jivatma. And this as a seeker, as I told you, the compassion is yourself. Empathetic is yourself because Sarvatma. Love is yourself. So one has to develop that compassion. And the expression of compassion is a mental level. Expression of a compassion, expression of love makes you giver. That is why last point, marriage is made for growth. See, whole concept of marriage is for growth. What kind of growth? Inner growth, subjective growth, to prepare you for moksha. Married person, before marriage, generally can think of himself or herself only. Then he or she thinks of the beloved. Then my children, and in a family, joint family, my parents, my brothers, my sisters, my society, my village, expansion. This is called heart enlargement program. That is marriage. The duties. In a typical Indian society, married person has to give. At least give the time and comfort. Some guest has come and have to go to some marriage and somebody has passed away and give this to that and that. It goes on. Marriage is not for mutual convenience and happiness. Marriage is to learn to give. Marriage is meant for self-growth. That is a very concept. And marriage teaches person to be a giver. Not as a duty. If there is a love, it becomes natural. You discover a love for the beloved, and then you are total giver. That's it. So love or compassion is Swarupa of Atma. Limitlessness is love at a mental level. Atma's manifestation at a level of mind is in terms of love, in terms of compassion, and its expression is giving. And therefore this fellow, he says, Vrutha Jivati. This fellow's life is futile. Because neither the person gets moksha, nor he earns punya. That means what? His life is equivalent to any other creature. Therefore it's a waste, futile life, Bhagavan says. We'll continue further in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om.